We're live.
All right, so it appears that we're live. Welcome, Sarah. Welcome, Sandra, to this week's Ditch the Diet and Face the Feelings panel. So we're coming to you hot off a very busy day where I am sorry I'm late, and that's my fault. I was just sitting, enjoying the peace and quiet, going, oh, thank God my day's over. I've only got a couple more things to do. And then, oh my goodness, I'm supposed to be somewhere. But yeah, we've just been in the middle of the launch of Discover Your Path U. And that has been phenomenal in terms of learning, in terms of expansion, in terms of learning to lighten up on myself and not be so hard on myself of, okay, what are you not getting done? But really stop the woulda, coulda, shoulda and say, well, look at what you have gotten done so far. So Sarah, how's your day? How's your week been? Have you been lightening up on yourself? Where do you still need to lighten up some more?
Well, my week so far, it's funny that it's only Wednesday, but it feels like, we're on the 20th day of the week already. Um, it's been very busy, very good, very productive. And I have had to have those conversations with myself all around the woulda, coulda, shoulda, and being hard on myself um, about the things that I'm not getting done, although everything I'm doing is necessary at the time. So it's just it, out of the list of 100 things that I need to get accomplished, I had them in a slightly different order, and real life, imposed itself here, and so I've had to shift. And so there's that sort of um, that vacuum of, oh, I'm supposed to be working on this thing that's mine, but really it's all mine. Oh, it's very confusing.
And I think that's been the hardest thing for me this week is like, I'm supposed to be working on, oh yeah, it is all mine. All of these are my projects. All of them are happening and all of them are moving forward. But the big focus right now is this one project.
Yeah.
And I know, Sandra, you and I had talked earlier today, and it was that same kind of feeling of you've got various things happening. You've got programs you're launching later this month, beginning of May. You've got stuff you're working on, and oh, I didn't do.
Totally. And you run down the path of, oh, I should have. And instead, you need to say, it's okay. I'm all right with that. It will be okay. Because the minute we run down that path of I should have, could have, would have, our body just goes into an even bigger stress response. and we just and the negative self-talk starts all over.
Yeah, and the complicating thing is it's the should haves, but it's also the I should be doing this and this, where that stress element comes in, because then you've got this little niggling voice in the back of your head saying you should be working on this, and it distracts your focus from what you are working on, and again causes stress. And so it's been a lot. It's been a lot of learning opportunities to recognize that voice coming up, and then to have that little conversation with that voice and say, right, I know you're there, and I'm just sitting you over here until it's your turn.
And the other thing too is do you think that we put way too much emphasis on our list of to-dos and forget to put some emphasis on some self-care and just taking a walk away for 15-20 minutes?
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. That's why I do daily meditation, start my day that way. spend that time getting centered and balanced. And
Yeah.
one of the great things about having a dog and living in a communal environment where he has to be on a leash, I can't just let him out into the yard. I have to actually go walk him. So, he gets me
Yeah.
out multiple times during the day. And, sometimes I'm like, oh, God, you have to go out. Okay, fine. And then I get out there and I remember this is all part of life. This is supposed to
Yeah.
be integrated into the day. It's okay. And then just be here. So, yeah. We had a nice little
Yeah.
walk right before we came online today.
Yeah. And I have to say, each morning I walk outside with the dogs, and I tend to go barefoot because we have a backyard. And I let myself just sit for a moment with my feet in the grass going, okay, what's on today, but gently. As opposed to, there's that desire to rush into it. And for example, this morning, I woke up naturally at 4:30 this morning going, okay, what am I doing? And it was like, actually, at 4:30 this morning, I am reading a book. If I'm going to get an extra hour or 2 hours, I'm going to read a book.
Yes.
I'm not going
And
to
then you
rush.
got nice and grounded with your feet in the grass and connecting with the earth. So that's wonderful. Gosh.
Yeah.
That's something we all need to do.
But, it is that tendency to rush into the day's to-do list. The day of, oh, I have to get this done and I have to get so much done. And when I look at my day today and I'm like, I haven't done, because I'm sitting here beating myself up about what I haven't done on the computer in terms of work on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
I've had 5 either meetings, lives, or panels today.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, so I haven't gotten a lot of work done.
Yeah.
But my marketing for the week is pretty much done.
If you can look at it from not so much what you haven't done, but what have you accomplished for the week or for the day, you all of a sudden, what you didn't get done just wasn't meant to get done today.
Yeah.
It just wasn't meant to be there.
Yeah, then it comes into the realm of releasing, letting go of, if the importance is self-imposed, and you just thought I had to have it done by today because this is the day I said I was going to have it done, which is an artificial deadline, then and you still had a full day of work and and hopefully some movement during your day.
Which I haven't done today. Today I haven't done a whole lot of movement other than that first movement of the morning.
Yeah. Those days happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, should you have gotten up and moved?
Oh yeah, I could have gotten up and done a workout at 4:30 this morning. Of course I could have. I was much happier sitting reading my book though. And the reality is that I do think it sets the tone for the day.
Right.
And I needed that bring the energy down and grounded as opposed to let's energize you and get you pumped up.
Mm-hmm.
Because of everything that I had going on today, which is a beautiful thing. And it's a wonderful thing to be that busy, to have that much going on.
It really is. I was just sitting here listening to you, Beth, and trying to see if I could remember my first thought of the day and if it started off with an I should or if it doesn't. I'm going to have to pay attention to that because if I'm starting off my day saying, oh, I should get up and go get started on XXX, I'm going to have to really start to pay attention to that internal dialogue that I'm having. And
my days usually start with waking up and going, I'm grateful for my bed. It's so nice and comfy.
No. My mind is much more active of, oh, look, you're awake. Now you can. But then I have to bring myself down to consciousness of what would I like to do? How do I want to start this day? And it used to be the should. It used to be I would be awake, and the first thing is like, oh, I've got all of these things to do. And I would go immediately to my to-do list, and I'd wake up at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would sit at the computer for an hour, 2 hours getting something done because I've got to get this done. Now, that worked for me, but it didn't give me a grounded day. It didn't give me a peaceful day. Yes, it gave me lots of productivity, but not necessarily coming from real intentional and really peaceful. And this is, it was celebrating busyness and I have so much to do. And it's not who I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
It's much easier, I think, on your whole system if when you wake up with the intent of, this is a beautiful day, I'm grateful for this day. And then you move into a meditation practice, or you're journaling and then meditate, however you want to do that. Yeah. And don't even open your screen,
social media or screen or anything. Absolutely. Because I mean, like this morning, my thought was, I was out in the back and I was like, Sunday, the water got turned off because one of the water mains down the street broke. And I was like, I didn't water my plants. And I was like, oh, and I don't have such and such until 9 a.m. So I could actually put the sprinklers on now. And I took my time this morning. I mean, I had a full day today. Don't get me wrong. I had a very full day today, but I had time this morning to put the sprinklers on. I had time to sit down with Isabella and say, how would you like to have your bath this morning? I still managed to get her out the door because she wanted to go spend an hour at her dad's office instead of being in my office all morning, until she went over to her grandma's house. I managed to get her out the door at 8:30 and still have my shower, get ready, and hit my first meeting at 9 a.m. feeling relaxed, not hurried.
How beautiful is that?
Yeah. Yeah. Just knowing I have time for everything. Yes, yep. Sean Dunn, 4:30 in the morning. That's the time I woke up this morning.
Yeah, I used to get up and immediately check, email, check messages, check Facebook, check Instagram, check Twitter. And, today let's see, what time did I get up? I got up about 5:45 and I wasn't on any social media until 10. Yeah. I had other things. I had 2 meetings before that and was busy, but still, I got up and.
But it's a conscious decision.
Mm-hmm, definitely. And
yeah, if you can make it as a conscious decision. And I think too, like for me, with all the years of working, I was always up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. My alarm would be going. And
I don't set an alarm anymore.
No, I don't either.
One of my things now is I don't put anything before 9 a.m. intentionally so that I don't have to set an alarm. And I will wake up when my daughter wakes me up or when I wake up naturally, whichever happens first.
Yeah. And we kind of tune into our body by doing that too. I haven't set an alarm now for the last year. And then intuitively my body wakes up between 7:30 and 8.
Yeah.
But hey, there are days when my body's ready to go at 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm writing stuff out.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I go with it because if you start into a negative attitude with it and you start beating yourself up, well, I should be sleeping at this time.
Oh, right.
then
Well, and I agree. I've had days where I've woken up at 2 a.m. in the morning and wide awake, not that kind of awake or, no, like wide awake. And it's like, okay, what am I going to do? And I might get up and work on something and go back to sleep at 3:30.
Yeah.
And that is perfectly okay now. Or I might read.
Yep.
And then I have other nights where, I mean, literally, usually Isabella, if she decides to switch beds, I'll wake up when she does. And I woke up the other morning and she's lying on top of me. And I'm like, when did she arrive? I'm in a totally, I have no idea. I have no idea when she arrived. I was just out to it all night long and woke up with her on top of me going, I have no idea when you came.
It's a funny presupposition that we're supposed to sleep for 8 hours, because that isn't actually how we're designed. And if you go back in old literature, you'll come across,
they talk about the second sleep,
the first sleep and the second sleep. Yeah, because
yes.
it's our natural circadian rhythms to sleep for 3 or 4 hours and then to wake up and do whatever.
And actually, when I found out about that was probably about 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
That was the stop of a limiting belief of shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Yeah.
For me.
That it's a problem that you didn't sleep for 8 hours.
Yeah. And I'm not saying you don't need 8 hours sleep in a 24-hour period, but you can choose how you get that.
And every body is different, right? Not everybody needs 8 hours of sleep. And maybe it's a 4 and a 2 or a 3 and a 3 or any combination, but it's certainly very individual. And it's just interesting. But with the invention of electricity and alarm clocks, that's when all of a sudden the idea of the 8 hours.
Also factories, it's very convenient for factories to have workers showing up on time at a set time. Okay. I mean, it's convenient for works, my employees will be here at 8 a.m. because that's what time we open. So they're going to be here, as opposed to, I came in 2 hours late because I was awake from 2 to 4,
In actuality, if we really look at it, the person that would come in 2 hours late would actually be more productive than the guy that came in at 8 o'clock in the morning.
At 8 a.m.
Except for the stress they feel because of the guilt they feel for not getting there on time.
Yes, exactly. Which kills the whole thing, right? But
But I mean, I think as we learn to care for ourselves more, we learn to be more gentle on ourselves, and we stop beating ourselves up about, oh, you should have, or this is how life is supposed to be. Or, even talking to Shirley today about bodies and nutrition and what your body needs versus what my body needs, and what total choice means. Because when Shirley talks about total choice, she means total choice.
Yeah.
You choose to avoid dairy when you are lactose intolerant, not because the doctor said you have to, not because of this, but because I choose to. It's my choice.
Not because your cousin Mary's uncle's brother has a stomach ache when he drinks it.
Right. Yes. And so if I choose to be vegan as a lifestyle choice, but it's exercising total choice. And each meal I have, I go back to that exercise of total choice.
Yep. Absolutely.
Which reminds me, I have soup on the stove. I'm going to go make sure I turned it down. Just a minute.
Oh, that's
yeah, too. If we just kind of just really stop and take a breath
Mm.
and then say, is this really that important to beat ourselves up on because we didn't get it done? It's chances are it isn't. And I know in the community when I was working, and if I got running behind, and there were days, because you never knew what you were opening up the door to. And I'd probably be 20 minutes. There's been times when I was an hour behind of what I had said to the clients that I would be there. And there would be times when the client looked at me and was all pissy because I hadn't arrived an hour sooner. And I looked at him and I said, well, you know, you got a choice. You can have me now or you can have me in 4 hours time. But shit happens and life goes on. And 9 times out of 10, they just look at me and go, oh, it's okay.
No, Steve, the fire brigade did not have to come to my house. What happened was I got hit with the aroma just as I was talking about food of onion and garlic. Oh, my soup.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because little Miss Five is has been a little under the weather. I'm making chicken soup for dinner with, you know, extra garlic and onion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the woulda, shoulda, coulda trap is a definitely not a good one to get stuck in. I did a challenge with a group that I ran a couple of years ago, which was to do 24 hours of only positive language.
oh,
And to catch yourself in your thoughts and in your speech every time you start to say one of those things like, oh, I should, and oh, it's more like I choose, or I
yes.
choose not to. But
Yeah.
it's an interesting exercise to really pay attention to your thoughts and to the tone of your thoughts and your
Yeah.
speech for 24 hours. So maybe we can do a challenge coming up.
I'm thinking.
Mind
I'm
your
thinking maybe
thoughts.
the 2nd of May. Maybe we'll do that. Not the 1st of May, since that's, I believe, Labor Day, right?
Not here,
Not here.
Oh no, not for you.
no,
Oh, okay. Oh,
but
okay.
that's okay.
Well, for us, that's Labor Day. So yeah.
You guys are backwards because it's almost it's fall now. Is that what it is?
Well, no. Well, here we're going into wet season. We've only got dry or wet. So, you know, either it's raining. Well, either it's sunny all morning and raining at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, or it's sunny all day long with no rain for however many months. So right now we're finishing up dry season and we're headed into wet season. The temperature doesn't change much. It's just,
So
is it wet
interesting.
or not?
Yeah. All right, we'll put that out there for a future challenge.
Yeah.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, so Steve says that in England they don't have a Labor Day. I can't believe that.
They just labor every day.
They just labor every day. Okay.
Yeah, our Labor Day is in September.
Yeah, same as ours.
Sean, the name of the dog is Bernie.
This is Bernie.
Isn't he just the cutest little dog? Yeah. So finishing up, shoulda, woulda, coulda. How do you silence that inner critic, and what do you choose instead? And I love the example that Sarah gave us of choosing to reframe the language.
Yeah, that's really what it's all about because that's where you become empowered. You know, if you say, "Oh, I wouldn't do that," well, okay, oh, I choose
I
not
choose
to do that.
not
It's
to do that.
completely
Yeah.
different.
But it's the same as I have to versus I choose to.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much more power in saying, I'm choosing to do this.
Wouldn't it be a fun experiment just like for 24 hours for anything that's a would have, should have, could have,
Have to.
need to, have to, whatever, to say either I choose or I choose not to whatever it is and just see what that day is like. I might just try
I
that.
think I'm going to try that one. I think I'm going to try that one because I do think it really empowers you
Yeah.
of, no, I don't have to. I'm choosing to.
Yeah.
I might feel that I'm not necessarily cornered, but I could choose not to and then just go with the consequences of not doing it.
Yeah.
You can also,
You know, like I choose to pay my electric bill.
Mm-hmm.
or you could choose not to.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Choose not to.
Yeah.
The other thing that you can do is when you look at it, instead of saying I should have or I could have, is you can turn around and say, I chose not to do that today
Mhm.
because it did not fit
Yes.
into my schedule.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it's not that it's a permanent no, it's not, and it's not procrastination.
No.
It's simply, you know, I sat down with my priorities today and guess what? This didn't fit today and that's okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I'm sitting here thinking there's no time today for Netflix if I want to do exercise. And I was like, well, yes, there is actually. You could put the Netflix on the TV and you can put your exercise bike in front of the TV. You can do both if you choose to.
If you choose.
If you
Yeah.
choose.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, that was one of the things I was talking to Shirley today. I was like, Shirley, you know, I finally got enough lack of storage. I've reduced my storage in my body so much that I could have a 6-pack of abs. And she's like, so what stopped you? I'm like, I haven't done enough sit-ups. And she's like, so what stopped you? And I was like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you know, it's that whole thing of, yeah, so what's stopping me?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Haven't
and
chosen to do it yet.
I haven't chosen to do it yet. Exactly. I haven't chosen to make it a priority. And yet what is funny for me is that 3 months ago, I was never even talking about the possibility of having my 6-pack of abs back.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't even in the realm of existence.
So what changed?
Well, on my vision board was fit and healthy and vitality. I wanted to feel the energy.
Yeah.
And so realistically, it's not about the 6-pack. It's about the energy levels.
But getting the 6-pack could just be a really fun thing to do. Like, you know,
Right.
and there's
Exactly.
nothing wrong with that if that's what you choose.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely getting that fitness level back of feeling that I'm fit enough to do anything I choose to do.
Mm-hmm.
And reality is that's where I want to be fitness wise. I want to be fit enough to do whatever I feel like doing, not thinking that, well, I can't do that because I'm not fit enough.
Yeah. I know I've definitely made progress in the last 6 months in terms of improving my health and vitality. Even just in the last 4 months, it's changed significantly. So
Well, yeah, it's changed hugely for you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's
big journey. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
huge journey that most wouldn't even consider
Yeah.
doing.
But I think, and I'll say this panel also helps keep me on track. So thank you, ladies.
Yeah, it
You're
does.
welcome.
Doesn't it? Thank you.
It does. It keeps us.
Keeps you centered that this is
It
a
keeps the
lifestyle choice.
conversation going, and that's that's one
Yeah.
of the keys in terms of just having ongoing support, just keeping
Yeah.
that conversation going.
About my health, my vitality, my lifestyle is important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And therefore, I'm doing something about it consistently, not because I have to, but because I'm choosing to. This is the lifestyle I'm choosing to lead, which is fit and healthy, whatever that might mean.
Yep.
You're fit and healthy, and my fit and healthy, Sarah's fit and healthy, and the next person over there. Our definitions are all different,
Absolutely.
and it's really what feels good for you.
Yeah.
Where I am today.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like I know where I was. I mean, and I was talking to Shirley about this before. Like when I was 7.5, 8 months pregnant, I was still going for runs. I was probably fitter then than I am right now. Then came giving birth and getting dengue fever and a huge slide down in health.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, a whole lot of other things that happened after that.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been building back that health, you know, now. And I'm like, well, actually, I'm almost back to there again.
That's pretty great.
That's
And
pretty good.
pretty damn awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Celebrate the wins.
But, you know, for me, that was, you know, I'm not measuring against, you know, oh, when I was, you know, 26 or 27. No, that's not a realistic measure.
Not for me.
No, well, for any of us.
Yeah.
But can I be my healthiest self right now? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's we stop beating ourselves up about the shoulda, and what am I choosing today that is just one little step closer. And it's little steps, it's baby steps. It's not beating ourselves up about what we're not doing. It's looking at what we are doing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Totally.
anyway, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Andrea, and whoever else is watching us that hasn't commented in the comments. We've really enjoyed having you today, and we'll see you all same time, same place next week.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.